Hey guys, how's everything going? This is JSer. So in this video, I'm going to solve another problem on BFE.dev. It's called merge identical API calls. I think it's interesting. It's 101 on BFE.dev. Suppose we have a utility function get API to fetch the data, like API path and some configuration. We can call the list API like get list1 with keyword BFE, or we could get these two like dev, right? It is great until the UI becomes so complicated that the same API might be called for multiple times. And we want to avoid unnecessary API calls based on following assumption. Get API call response hardly changes within 1 second. Well, it's reasonable until some extreme cases like we need to I cannot think of some extreme cases. Well, I think it's could be useful for it could be right for most of the cases. So identical API call should return the same response get, okay, within 1 second. By identical, it means the path and config are deeply equal. So for deeply equal, yeah, this is not a problem. Say how to implement deep equal. I think we haven't done this yet, right? Well, we'll solve it later. So let's ignore that first for now. And we create get API with merging this method with the same interface to a get API, which works like the following. Okay, so we call it with list path with keyword BFE. This is the first call, so this will trigger get API. So we call it again with the same keyword, and because the second call is identical to the first call, so the get API is not called and it resolves like it is merged to the first call, right? So when the first is resolved, both of these two promises are going to be fulfilled. Okay, this is the third one. We call list with different keyword because the keyword is different, so it's not identical. Get API is called again, and after 1 second, get API with list BFE. It is the same as the first call, but it's longer than 1 second from the last call, right? So get API is called again. Well, reasonable. So this is another section. Attention for memory leak. Your cache system should not bloat. So for this problem, you should have only 5 cache entries. Okay, so get list1 BFE called, get list2 BFE called, get list3 BFE called, get list4 BFE 5 is, so we will have 5 entries here. And now we call the sixth one, and the sixth call we call API, add a cache entry, and at the same time the first one, the cache for the first one is removed. Reasonable. So if you call the list 1 again with the same keyword, even though it is identical API call, and it is within 1 second, but since it is not cached, right? The cache is removed, so it should trigger. The get API should be called. For test purpose, we need to provide a clear method to clear the cache. Well, reasonable. So this is interesting. I think it might be useful for the real web applications. Maybe, yeah. So let's solve it. So the idea actually is very simple. When we call this get API, we need to serialize the key, the configuration and the list, right? So if we add a cache, so add a cache entry, that cache entry actually has a timestamp, and while we'll call it again, we will check against the hash. If it exists, we will check the expiration. If it is within 1 second or not. If it is not, we will call the API and set up the cache again. All right. When we set up the cache, we need to remove the oldest cache. This is the ARU cache, I think. Okay. Cool. So that's it. Let's try to do it. So the first step is actually we need to serialize the hash key, right? Yeah, how should we do it? Auxiliary hash with path and config. Let's just say hash. Okay, we create a function to do that. Const hash with the path and config. Path, it should be the same, so yeah, how should we do it? Okay, let's just say hash if an object. We could think of this as a path config, right? So it's an object, and we could do this recursively, I think. So hash object, and this object might be an object, array, or primitive data type. So we use we switch. Okay, switch an object prototype to a string, call object, case. The case, if it is object undefined, okay, we should return what? Because it is a hash, return undefined, right? Yeah, cool. Case object number, return object. This is number, or let's say object to a string. Okay, this will be the same for like object boolean. What is that a case? Like string, right? A string, you should be itself. Okay. Case object string, return object. Is this the case? The oh, there's a null case, right? Null. Okay. Case object null, return What can we use using JSon stringify? If we use a JSon stringify, actually the property order is not controlled, right? It's not under control. So yeah, let's write it by ourselves. Object null, object undefined, null undefined number boolean string. Yeah, that's it. So we are guaranteed only plain objects, no string input for this problem. Strange? How can it be strange? They're primitives, right? Okay. The other case is object. Oh, this should be S. Object. So this is the tricky part. For the properties, we need to make sure they have the same order, right? Okay, the keys, like say object and keys, object, keys, sort with the lexical graphical order, and then we need to return something like this, right? With the brace, curly brace, and the keys will be keys map key. It will actually be like double quotes. This is the key, and another value, right? The value should be called hash again. This is the object key. Wait a minute. We get it. This. We map it. Yeah, this should be right. And the map it, after map, we need to join with comma. Cool, this is it. And the other one is object array. There's something wrong here. This okay, this is right. Okay. Key maps key. This is the map. And then this. I think this is right. Map. This is right. It's just something wrong with the highlighting. Hash. There's a problem here. Actually, join is not here, but here. This is the map and join, and then yeah, this is right. I'm sorry. And then we need to write the case for array. Still something wrong here. Object keys, sort, case map. Key. Join. This. No problem, I think. Okay. So this should be the same. We would return a bracket joined with the object map item and it should be hash. Let's just use hash item and then join with comma. Okay, no, this is should be this one. Have join. Okay, yeah, this is right. And at last we could return. Oh, it's already returned. So hash. Okay, it's cool. So we need to get the hash. Request hash should be hash path and config. So we get the hash. Now this needs to. We need to get the. We need to get the cache system, right? So getting merge API. Oh, this should be put out of this function, I think. Hash, and we get a cache. We could use a map. It's very simple. Map, hash, and a promise. So it's string promise. Okay. So if cache has this request and get, this is the get the request dot triggered. Let's say triggered if now date now is smaller or equal to 1 second, it means the cache is available. Cache is available. The cache is no, it's not promise. This should be data. No, it's just promise, and the triggered. It's a number, right? Cool. So his cache is available. We use it. So we just do what? We just return the cache. Get I use another. I'll nest the if. So if const entry should be request. No, it's the cache. Get request hash and entries triggered. If it is available, we just return the entry promise. Yeah. If not, we just we need to delete it, right? So we delete. Oh no, it should be cache remove or delete. Delete, right? Delete. I don't remember. Remove. Let's just delete. Hash request hash. If it has it and it's still available, we return a new promise. If not, if it has the cache but it's not valid anymore, we delete it. So for the other cases, we need to call the API, right? Call the get API. Yeah, call this one. So this new promise, promise equals get API path config, and we just set this new entry set with request hash with the promise and the triggered. We say date. Now this is it. Oh, there's a problem here. It said the maximum entry will be 5. Okay, we set it and remove the oldest cache. So if cache size is bigger than 5, well, this is not good. I'll say const max cache 5. We say okay, and then we need to remove the first one. Well, this will be simple. Let hash. Oh no, not hash of cache. We just cache delete it, hash, and break. Just delete the first one, right? You remember the map in JavaScript has the order. Is ordered map, so the first one is actually with the oldest one. I just delete it, so there will be no memory problem. Okay, if we clear cache, I'll say cache clear. That's it. It's not complicated, but yeah, it's not that easy to write a bug-free code. I'm not sure whether. Okay, let's say this. Let's move this magic number out. Const, like say cache time limit. 1 second. Okay. Let's run the code. 13. There's a problem. 13. Cool. This is wrong. Oh, this is wrong. Okay. Seems not right. Get this, then expect data to be 1. Spike error callback not to have been called. Cannot read properly then. We forgot to return something. Shit. I'm sorry. Promise get the API and set it, and then finally we need to return a promise. God. Great. Yeah, it's a very interesting problem. If you're interested, please have a try out BFE. I think it's pretty useful in some cases. Okay, so that's all for this one. Hope it helped. See you next time. Bye bye.